All right, guys, I just finished Dragon Age the Veilguard. I want to talk a little bit about this. This is my review for Dragon Age the Veilguard. So I've played Dragon Age 2 and I've played Dragon Age Inquisition. I was unable to finish either of those. I did try to play Dragon Age Origins, but I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be completely like brutal with you guys. I didn't play the other Dragon Ages is because they felt clunky. They felt kind of boring to me, and I wanted to. I like the idea of them. I really do like the idea of Dragon Age, and the way that Veilguard is designed with the fast action hack and slash flippity dodgy combat. I love that. Like that to me literally made this game significantly better than any of the other ones I've played before. Now, when you look at the other Dragon Age games, you get in there, you get to make choices that affect the outcome, that affect the story, that are really deep and methodical and all of that stuff, and it gives the games a lot of replayability. Well, instead of that, for Dragon Age Veilguard, they added secondary content that you can go through and explore and find and do all of that stuff, unlock different areas. I feel like they kind of swapped that kind of stuff out for a more streamlined, yet it still has depth to it, but at the same time, like the overarching story for Veilguard is more like there's not a whole lot of choices that you can do that can like really, I would say, change up the whole thing. I mean, I guess maybe there's like different endings or something like that. You'd have to probably play through it a little bit more, but for me, as a casual gamer, somebody that just likes to come home from work, get in, play a game, have some fun, and not really put too much, like devote too much time thinking about things, I absolutely enjoyed everything that Veilguard had to offer. Now, I know that there's a lot of you guys out there that are hardcore, true to the bone, like, oh, you guys get really into the whole lore and like you eat that content up, and man, I'm excited for you guys. Do I think that Veilguard is going to satiate the long-term Dragon Age fans? Probably not, because clearly it's two different experiences. This is the first Dragon Age that I've ever been able to complete and stay 100% immersed throughout the whole freaking campaign. I would play the old Dragon Ages, like Inquisition is probably... I probably got farther in Inquisition than I did. No, I think I got farther in Dragon Age 2. Dragon Age Inquisition was interesting for me because I bought it on PlayStation. I actually, if I had to be completely honest, Inquisition was probably the one that I really that I liked. That I was like, okay, this is a little bit better. This is definitely better because you had like the action combat, but then you also still had the tactical stuff, and you know, like. It's not like they completely removed the tactical stuff out of Dragon Age Veilguard. It's still there to an extent, but it's nowhere near what it used to be. Like, this is, to me, I don't know. I feel like it feels significantly different than those, and that's what I love the most about it, is because it is not like those games. This feels fresh, this feels a lot faster and a lot funner. So when you look at like the way this game is designed, it's not an open world. It does have open areas. It does have areas that have lots of exploration. Like there's a lot of like this is good. Like this is good. It's got big like the set pieces like going up, you know, like on the to the end level and stuff. Like that set piece was freaking huge. Like that was so cool. It's like, you know, climbing up a mountainside and stuff. Very, very fun, very cool. And when you look at when I look back across all the different environments that Veilguard has to offer, different areas, you know, you have like forested areas, you have like town areas, you have a couple of town areas, you've got like the side of a mountain, you've got just so many different really cool looking places to go, like where the wardens are, you know, the Grey Warden's castles and everything, man. Like, this was a freaking cool game. And you know, when I look at, gosh, when I look back at the experience that I just had, you know, for the last couple of days, what was it, like 3 days now? I've been Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, but I've been playing this for 3 days now. And when I try to look back and try to remember every single thing that happened throughout the game, like it is tough. I've got like all my video recorded. I recorded the whole game. And it took me, what, 19.5 hours to get through this. So I look back at all of that, all of the fun that I had, you know, the interaction with all of the characters. You start off, you know, you've got like Harding with you, and then you go and you find Bellara, and then you start adding like more characters. And the more characters I started adding, well, I mean, you had Nev with you too. Well, Neve is with you when you first start. So when you start adding all these other characters throughout the end of the story, like, I don't feel like I gave those ones as much attention as I did like I barely took Tash anywhere with me. I barely took, you know, the necromancer guy with me. That's why it's like hard to even remember his name. I did take the assassin guy with me a couple of places, but I didn't really. I mean, the people I took with me the most was Bellara, Harding, and Nev, and Darwin. His name's Darwin, the other Grey Warden. Those are the guys that I took with me the most. I didn't even really pay any attention to the other one, didn't even do their side stories or content. You know, like the whole thing that everybody's out there bashing Dragon Age for with the whole Tosh thing. I didn't even see that. Like, I didn't even see that. Like, I get through that part, and, you know, where you're supposed to like go with her on her like little side quest or whatever, and all that happens or whatever. I didn't go, and so when I went to start like this new mission, it just had like a little thing in the screen, and it said, "Oh, well, they like to be called them," and I was like, "Okay, whatever. Okay, well, them," you know, and then it's like Harding and Harding and Neve went with Tosh to help her sort out her feelings or whatever, something like that. And I was just like, okay, cool, yeah, I didn't even have to experience that, and so I was just like, I mean, I think people are just. I don't know, man. Like, I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about that. I'm just saying that, like, it was kind of a non-issue, man. Like, you already know that Tosh is the transgender or whatever. So everybody pretty much, you can just ignore that. Like, you don't even have to experience that. And then you can just roll your eyes like I did when they're like, oh, they want to be called them. And then you never ever have to address that again throughout the rest of the game. Like, I didn't even have to address it again throughout the rest of the game. So yes, it's in there. So people that identify as that, if they wanted to like go through that whole story arc and do all of that stuff, man, cool. Let them have fun, man. Like, let them have I would say the creepiest looking the creepiest looking character. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of cruel, you know. If you ask me, they're like, yeah, we want to be there for you, but then they also, you know, like couldn't even make the. I don't know, man. It is what it is. I don't care. It didn't bug me. It didn't affect my experience. Didn't drag nothing down. Didn't even, you know. When I look at the overall, like the complaints about the dialogue in this game, I'm like there's like a few times where you could be like, oh man, like, and like seriously, not enough to where I'm like, wow, that, like, I didn't get annoyed at all. And dude, man, I've made other videos where I get annoyed like at dialogue and stuff. I didn't get annoyed at all throughout this game. I was like, wow, dude, this is actually written pretty good. And, you know, because honestly, in like real life, I mean, if you haven't noticed by the videos that I make, like, I'm kind of like the main character, and I kind of identify like that, you know. I'm like, you know, try to be down to earth, try to like figure things out and stuff. And so I was like, wow, dude, this is actually pretty freaking cool. And yeah, I don't get it, man. Like, I don't get it. I guess I could get it, you know, if you're like a diehard Dragon Age fan and you're like, oh, I just wanted the dark, gritty, whatever from the past games. Like, I could see you not 100% being like cool with this, because Rook is like Captain America. He's like Captain America, and that's maybe why I like it so much, because I like Captain America is like my favorite superhero from Marvel. And when I think about that, Rook, his demeanor and his attitude and everything is pretty much like Captain America. I kind of feel like, you know, when you really look at it, it's kind of like that's what they tried to create with the Veilguard, is like the Avengers, and that's fine. Like, I think they did a good job at that. I honestly kind of feel like they pulled that off to a point where it's like, okay, this is pretty cool, you know? I mean, like, you have like the Thor and you have Hulk that are always, you know, at each other, and that's kind of what it was like, you know? But never as extreme as Thor and the Hulk or whatever. But like, you get like that little banter, you know, about something, and then it's like, you know, all of the stuff. Like, if you played this game into depth, I'm pretty sure you could find more stuff than I did. But going through just the campaign, it was good. Like, it was good. Like, all of the stuff that people complained about, I didn't even see through my playthrough. So I'm pretty sure you could get through this game and completely enjoy it without any of that other stuff. It was interesting. So one thing I do want to touch on is the world design. Seriously, like, these are some of the best freaking environments that I've ever seen in a medieval fantasy type game. Like, when you get to like the oh gosh, I can't even pronounce it. When you get to like the elves forest or whatever, and you're looking out and you see all the statues of like all the elves and stuff, and you just get like these beautiful freaking set pieces all around you in this game. It's just like, wow, it is so breathtaking that you literally just want to stop and slow walk and just look at all the incredible visuals. Now, I've heard people say it looks like Fortnite. You know, it's not Fortnite. It's not Fortnite. Like, the world design and the environments and everything look pretty like realistic, but they also do kind of look like they have like this artistic touch that makes them look even better. Like, it really does like flesh out the whole fantasy, the whole fantasy realms and stuff like that. But then when you look at like the character design, even the characters fit well within the world. It's just the I guess, you know, maybe the proportions of like, I don't know. Like, I didn't have that uncanny valley feeling that I did. Like, this has the exact kind of visuals that I really do like. I really like that. I don't like the realistic stuff as much as I like the games that look like this. These kind of games, they look better longer, whereas like the realistic stuff starts to not look so good really quickly. Like, I was literally blown away visually throughout the whole experience. And performance on a 7900 XTX, absolutely incredible. Like, the whole game was just nice and smooth. It felt great the whole time. I was like, wow, this is great. The boss fights were pretty good. I mean, I played it on a lower difficulty, so it felt balanced. Like, if I didn't upgrade my weapons and stuff, then it started getting a little bit harder. But if I was upgraded all the way when I was going into fights and stuff, it just felt balanced. It felt consistent throughout the whole game. So it wasn't like super hard, and it wasn't like super easy. It was pretty much just a balanced experience, like all the way through, just the way I like it. I like to be able to just get through things. I don't want to feel super overpowered, because then it just makes the games feel super easy. And I don't want to feel underpowered. I just want to feel like, you know, when I get into a fight, I know what to expect and I know how to react to it, and I can get through the enemies and move to the next area. And because I think I value the exploration in a game like this. I feel like I value the exploration and the world design, and the story. I feel like I want that part to be the main focus as opposed to the combat. See, like a game like Final Fantasy 16. I want the combat to be really, really good. Whereas like Dragon Age, I want it to be like everything, encompass everything, and just give me that full package, but with a balanced difficulty throughout the whole game. You know, like from just, you know, the NPC or enemies that you fight, all the way through to the bosses. I just, you know, I like the way that Dragon Age felt going through this. And it was incredible. Like it didn't over challenge me, it didn't under challenge me. It was literally just perfect for this type of an experience. Now, obviously, if you want to ramp up the difficulty, you can ramp up the difficulty. When you do that, it's just going to make your damage. You receive more damage, and then you're gonna deliver less damage to the enemies, which is just going to make them feel more like a bullet sponge. And in my mind, like I don't like that. I would much rather just have a consistent difficulty for combat throughout the whole game, unless it's a game like Final Fantasy 16. Now, Final Fantasy 16 combat, that's great because you get the combos, you get like, yeah, I love that. That's how that game is designed, and it is perfect. For a game like Dragon Age to try to implement something like that, I kind of feel like it would have threw off the whole. I feel like it would have thrown off the whole flow of the game, which this game actually flows very well. I definitely feel like this game is designed to cater to a wider net, a wider range of people. So if you're sitting on the fence thinking like, oh man, I tried like a Dragon Age before and I didn't like it, it was too hard, or it was this or that, this game is for you. Like they built this game for you to be able to get in there. Yes, there's enough stuff in there to satiate the hardcore fans, there is, but are they going to appreciate it? You know, basically just being like a story that they get to go through and experience without all the nuances and stuff that they used to love. Yeah, like it is going to be different for them, and I do feel, you know, a little bit. I feel bad saying that I love this game, honestly, because I know that those guys that have been waiting for 10 years for this game to come out, just like I have, are not going to be as happy and excited about this as I am. And that does suck, and I do feel for you guys. I really do, but it is still part of your Dragon Age. It's still part of that story. It still carries on that legacy, and it still does it in a way that delivers that experience, or that information and that storyline and everything that you guys want. But at the same time, it makes it so it's more approachable for more people. And yeah, I mean, it pretty much closes out like the last 3 games. Like it pretty much closes out those games and brings, you know, a lot of stuff together. You'll just have to play it. I don't want to spoil the game for you guys. I mean, it pretty much, like technically you could say that this is the cap of Dragon Age. Like this is the last one. Like there's no more after this. Like you could potentially say that. Like they tied up a lot of stuff that you would be like, oh my gosh, man, like it's pretty tied up, man. Like I don't know if it could continue. I mean, like I guess it could potentially, but yeah, I don't know, man. It's like there's no more super bad guys. Maybe I don't know. Like what do they do? But that's just what I gathered from it. I thought it was good. I thought it was fun. I was very immersed in this experience. It really did deliver that experience that I wanted it to, and it changed it enough to where I was like, yeah, this Dragon Age I love. I love this game. I love the characters in it. I love the world building. I love the I mean, like if anything was the weak point, it would probably be the combat overall. Like it was, you know, I mean, if it would have had a system, I don't know. See, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the combat was good. I liked it. I liked being able to dodge. I like being able to do like combat, switch up weapons and have them feel a little bit different. Like I liked it. I liked the combat. I thought it was pretty good. I just kind of get stuck in like a rut, like doing the same thing over and over and over again in combat. And normally that doesn't bug me, especially if I'm just like going through a story, because I'm more focused on the exploration and the story and stuff like that. And I'm focusing less on the combat. So I'm worried about something completely different. Like if I was going through this game and it was, like I said, if it was like Final Fantasy, where the combat is the star of the show and you have to learn that to progress, then it would have been a different story. But This one here is, it is what it is, guys. And the overall hate that this game is receiving. Now I'm actually considering just posting all of my gameplay, but the overall hate that this game is receiving is uncalled for. Like it's not helpful for things to be the way they are. Like it's not. Like, I get that there's some things out there and there's a culture war and there's all of that nonsense. You're just gonna have to tune that out, and you're just gonna have to try to enjoy the game. I don't think it was bad. I definitely think it was was worth your money. If I had to rate this game, I mean, I've been looking at the games for 2024 that came out this year. Banishers, Ghost of New Eden, Black Myth Wukong, Bodycam, Brothers of Tell, Castlevania, Dominus Collection, Contra, Deathbound, Dragon Age Veilguard, Dragon's Dogma 2, Drive Rally, Enshrouded, Final Fantasy 16, First Descendant, Ghost of Tsushima, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Grand Blue Fantasy Relink, Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered, Kaku, Nightingale, No Rest for the Wicked, Nobody Wants to Die, Once Human, Outcast, Rensport. I mean, looking at all of these games, guys, yeah, I could pretty much say that Dragon Age Veilguard is my game of the year. It's my game of the year. Everything that I've played, I've been playing on the freaking PC, and yeah, this is the best game I've played so far this year. So if nothing else comes out for the rest of the year, like, I think Dragon Age Veilguard is going to be it. Now, like, it was pretty close. It is pretty close between Veilguard and Dragon's Dogma, but I think Veilguard's got it in the bag. To be completely honest with you guys, Veilguard was pretty damn good. I really liked it, and there's a lot of things, you know, toward the end of this game, like a lot of yeah, there's some sad stuff, and there's some stuff that is really gonna hit home for a lot of people, but yeah, this was a good one. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.